Scott.
I'm Corey.
And we are
the Cloud Brothers. Welcome to the Cloud Brothers. Take it away, Scott, because this is all you.
It's all me. So somebody from Paladin Cloud linked in with me. I guess that's the term. Linked with me on LinkedIn. Connected on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And sent me this website and said, "What do you think?" And I looked at it briefly and said, "This is a job for the Cloud Brothers."
Oh, so that's us.
Today's video is going to be a walkthrough of this page, and my reply to him is going to be this video.
Okay, cool. So as always, while you're liking and subscribing to the Cloud Brothers, who are now at 140 subscribers, it's so exciting. We like the even numbers. Well, I like the even numbers.
I like the even numbers too.
So I was just like 140. It feels so nice. Thank you for everyone that follows, and those of you that just watched, you're cool too. So while you're liking and subscribing, though, is the point of how I got started on that train of thought. Is I will put the description to this below, and by the way, through the magic of television, we are smaller now. Oh, and I improved my camera quality because I found some settings, so
nice.
I'm happy.
I noticed that.
Are you looking at this? PaladinCloud.io, AWS security risk, best practices, and instructions. So let me just start, Scott, and then I'll let you take it away. Something I noticed before I called you on the Discord was the way that they have because I like the way they did their website. Like back end's really good, but front end's important too. So you can jump down to chapters by just hovering over here on this page. So, is there anything you want to say at this point?
I thought they were. So I only went over this briefly. I thought they were different sections, but that's basically a jump to a chapter heading.
So like, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go to home. It's a totally different page. Oh, I'm confused.
I go back twice.
So
one more back. Yeah, there.
So this is the page we're exploring. We're not looking at the other chapters. Okay,
correct.
I got you. All right.
That's correct.
That's why this is yours.
Correct. And there are other chapters to explore, and they all look pretty good. But I'm going to base all of the other chapters on what we find out from this one. So I don't know if we're going to read the whole thing. That kind of sounds a little bit boring, but we'll do the headings part, and I'll sort of just summarize what it's saying. The Amazon Web Services, public cloud. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you probably know what AWS is already. And the second paragraph, it's talking about how second paragraph.
Paragraph here. Okay.
Yeah. The breadth and flexibility of the AWS services. You can put in a high degree of complexity, so it's pretty easy to shoot yourself in the foot. And what it's saying there is every business, small or large, is susceptible to these things.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one? Combination, complexity, accessibility, lead security risks, which is what this thing is all about.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to, you guys can read
that. If left unmitigated, threat actors, so bad guys can take advantage of vulnerabilities, resulting in bad things like data, loss of data, service disruption, reputation damage, like Meta releases everybody's data.
It's more
30 million people, and there goes their reputation.
So threat actor and bad actor are the same term, but bad actor you can think of Nicolas Cage. I mean nothing.
That guy's a genius.
Yeah. You ever seen that movie where he looks confused? No, I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean it. Anyway, so we're gonna go through some of the security risks and mitigate them. And number one, I know, and I think you know already, is misconfigurations.
Yeah, the AWS security risk number one, misconfigurations.
Yeah, and one of the things that it gets the news is making your S3 buckets public. That's like the number one thing for exposing your data through Amazon that makes the most news.
I believe
Uh,
they recently changed the default so it doesn't automatically come public anymore. That was
yes,
a
it did.
thing. There was
Yeah.
a thing in the news about it.
Yeah, they've changed some of their defaults to make it much more secure rather than not secure out of the box. So, and then there's some of the things it says use infrastructure as code. You know, we're advocates for that
Oh yeah.
because that way you don't have human error, or at least your human error is consistent because it's the same every time if it's in code.
Well, yeah.
Um,
And if you have a template that's secure, then just
Yeah,
keep using it.
and then leverage. No, go here, stay in the middle. Don't go too far ahead. Leverage compliance tools that are continually monitoring and alert for insecurities. Insecurities. That's fine. Insecure configurations, and I believe I can't remember what the tools are, but I think there's some actual AWS tools that will do this, and I imagine if you contacted Paladin, they would probably recommend some things as well. And then the last one there is use the AWS well-architected framework to evaluate your application. We'll do a well-architected framework video one day,
Certainly.
but for now, just Google, not right now, but just Google well-architected framework or WAR framework, and you'll get all of the information on that. But that's an important thing.
Yeah, I think. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. CloudWatch leverage compliance tools that continually monitor and alert. So CloudWatch set up CloudWatch.
CloudWatch. There's some. There's
CloudWatch logs agent.
Yeah, Macy. Macy's another one.
Sure.
Guard Duty.
Yeah, that's
Guard
the one that
another
was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of them. Okay, so now we're on to 2.
So AWS security risk number 2, credential leaks.
Credential leaks, yeah. So that's giving somebody a username and password. Yeah, and the same with the threat actor. Somebody gets your access keys or secret access ID, and then you can programmatically, like imagine somebody got your programmatic keys somehow.
Yeah.
And then just started doing Bitcoin mining on your account. That wouldn't be a very good thing.
Yeah, and that's why we set up multi-factor authentication on all our AWS accounts.
Yeah, for programmatic, the MFA doesn't matter at all.
And that's true. But this is why you don't keep this stuff in a text file.
Yep. Or in a Git
cloud.
Repository or anywhere
like that,
public, or email it to somebody.
Yeah. Or if you have a cloud YouTube channel, don't show it on the channel.
Yeah,
So-
there are ways to get rid of them and turn them off and stuff, but you don't want to get hacked by this. This is like the worst way to get hacked.
Yeah.
It's easy to protect your keys.
Well, yeah, and setting up budgets and stuff like that for alerts will stop you if it's starting to cost money. Mine's set for $10 per month right now for my VPC. I got a warning today that it's $6 over.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the last sentence of that article there is talking about how they can, what does it say? Public code repository and place them in public document or
So
shared
get stuff
storage,
like
such as S3 bucket.
Don't put it in your bucket.
Yeah.
Don't put it in the repository.
Yeah. So
They
be
can
careful
be-
with your keys.
Yeah.
It's like anything. Don't leave your keys lying around.
They can be retrieved by hackers to access or modify AWS resources in the compromised account. So here's a sample, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Here's the bad actor getting your key from your S3 bucket and your code repository, or both.
Yeah, or both. And then doing nefarious things.
Yeah.
And I don't know what what's it say for several mitigation techniques. Strong passwords. MFA is important. Always do MFA.
Yeah.
But MFA doesn't matter if you're running like Terraform code, because
That's true. That's a good point.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure about that, because I think you can run things requiring MFA, but it's a pain in the butt if you're doing like CI/CD and you got to put in a code.
Then you got to keep going. Probably have to keep going. I've never done that, but probably have to keep going back in to enter MFA.
Yeah, exactly.
Every minute.
Exactly what happens. least privilege, the IAM policies, make sure that your users that have those keys have the minimum amount to do what they're going to do.
Sure.
You're well aware of least privilege. Rotation of the keys as well. They have something called Secrets Manager now, which automatically does key rotation, which is
Correct.
cool.
Correct. Yeah, it's good.
And then the same thing, monitoring tools again. And the example that they have there is Macy.
Yeah. Can monitor S3 buckets for this and other personally identifying PII.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Macy will also look for credit card information and things like that in your S3 buckets and tell you about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because you don't want full credit card numbers sitting around your S3 buckets either.
Sure.
Because I think if you're handling credit cards and it's supposed to be in some kind of compliance, you'll probably get in trouble for having text credit cards in your S3 bucket. Okay, moving on to number 3, data encryption. Widely known that accepted that data must be encrypted while in transit across public networks such as the internet. VPN protocols such as HTTPS are now the norm for these purposes. However, encryption is just as crucial in private networks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so encrypt everything. It doesn't matter if it slows it down. Encrypt everything and assume that anything you're sending can be seen by hackers, because even if you're in a private network, you might have been compromised and they're not doing anything other than waiting for you to send unencrypted traffic.
Well, and look at like what I do for a living right now. AV over IP is becoming really popular. So audiovisual over IP. Yeah. So a lot of the manufacturers by legacy that they just don't think to put an HTTP network, right? Yeah. Or HTTP S encryption is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And so that's a weak point. So some of the equipment that installers try to sell, you bring to the company, to a big bank or something, and the network people go, "You're not plugging that in. No way. Nope. Can it do HTTPS? Nope. You have to find another provider." So that's becoming important to the AV world too, just because all the worlds are starting to collide, right? So
yeah, a lot of legacy systems are never thought of the S in the HTTP.
Yeah, that's the important distinction, of course. So but now it's like all the manufacturers worldwide are doing it, which is good.
Okay, can you scroll up a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm on the third paragraph there. Help mitigate the risk. AWS provides the ability to encrypt data at rest within their services transit across their network. AWS KMS, Key Management Service, offers seamless built-in encryption for most AWS services. So take advantage of the encryption in AWS, I think, is the point of this paragraph.
Well, yeah, anything automated that helps with your security for data encryption, you should do it, or consider it at least.
Yeah, and then there's some default encryption settings.
It allows you to create your key data and import it into the service for added security. Access these keys can be assigned to users or roles, so your IAM users or IAM roles. Ensuring decryption is restricted only to authorized users and applications. So, which goes back to the principle of least privilege, which was mentioned above.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that paragraph. Oh, they have the HSM too, which I'm vaguely familiar with.
Yeah, that's a newer thing. Provides a fully managed FIPS 140-2 level 3 validated service to automate secure encryption keys and operations for those with even higher security. So that's like for government and things like that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend. I'm not even going to pretend I know anything about that.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, I know how to answer it on the exam. That's all I know.
That's because you're a solutions architect, associate.
Yeah. So insufficient logging. This is an interesting one. So effective logging is an essential aspect to observability and overall security posture. Logs enable both threat detection and post-attack analysis.
I hear the cops coming to get somebody committing fraud in your neighborhood.
Yeah, they don't have enough logs. That's not that they're doing that, it's logs. But yeah, it's life in the big city.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you have an event and you don't have logs, it's basically impossible to figure out what happened.
Yeah, how would you trace what's going on? So
you don't. You can't. So immediately it goes to CloudTrail, which you know all about because I told you that from day one.
Yeah, CloudTrail is CloudTrail. Yeah.
Yeah, and then default retained for 90 days, helpful in some circumstances, but not necessarily to trace further back. So essentially, you have to, if you want your logs to last more than 30 days, you have to transfer them to an S3 bucket, which I think it says in the next one.
Yeah, other logging system investigate when using AWS services or S3 access logging, VPC flow logs, integration into CloudWatch without configuring additional logging. It may be impossible to trace a security incident back to its origin and take the necessary corrective action to prevent it from reoccurring.
Yeah, correct. And then, so the next paragraph after that, can't see it, it's behind. Yeah, perfect. Additionally, when the application is developed on the EC2 instance, it should contain its own logging parameters and integrate these logs into centralized repository like Amazon CloudWatch. Some of the other ones are Datadog, New Relic. There's other logging solutions. It's obviously this is AWS based, but there's other services as well do the same thing.
Okay, and risk number 5.
Yeah, inadequate monitoring and reporting. So logging is crucial, but it's only the first step. Organizations need to analyze log data and detect threats and draw insights from their logs. And then I'm on the third paragraph now. To help analyze data from the security perspective, AWS offers services such as Security Hub, GuardDuty, which we mentioned.
Oh, Inspector. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah, and Macy. Together, these tools provide threat reporting, analysis, issues, and remediation application to data. So again, all AWS specific makes sense because probably AWS consultant.
Sure.
But there's other tools that do the same.
Certainly. So risk AWS security risk number 6.
Yeah. No recovery plan, no strategy or recovery plan. This is a bad one. This is super, super bad.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Like imagine if somebody like me who got laid off recently still had access to your infrastructure and decided that they're having a really, really bad day and decided to tear down all of your things.
You could make so much Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, Bitcoin. I'm thinking more destructive though. More.
Yeah, certainly. If people are like bitter and not doing well that day from a mental illness or something.
Yeah.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get emotional. So.
Yeah, exactly. And some people don't have the maturity to check those things. So. Anyway, and then so I'm going to skip to the third paragraph there. Mm-hmm. The key questions to consider include what is the process to follow if a system is compromised or if user leaks access credentials. Asking these questions after an incident means asking them too late.
Sure.
Very, very important. Why did this happen to us? Is something you don't want to be asking. It's more, what do we do when something happens? And then they have the security response guide. I don't think we need links to things. I think just links to the article in the description is probably.
Yeah, we could just because it's this particular article, we could just you can find I'm just gonna exit the GitHub because that's not the point.
That's on there too. That's on. They can find that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then the next one. So have a security incident response guide.
Yeah, this it's said it a few times here. This will limit or prevent data loss and reputational damage.
Yeah.
So I think reputational damage is really important as far as security goes because it's a good point. Because I don't know, Bitwarden's taking a hit right now because somebody found a security vulnerability in it.
Yeah, or LastPass.
Yeah, that too.
all of them making the news is not something you want to do. Your IT department does not want to make the news.
Well, especially if that's the thing. If it's because of security, you kind of lose trust of lots of
100%.
people.
100%.
So
this last one, Shadow IT, I don't know much.
AWS security. Let me read this one, so we'll figure it out. Public cloud platforms are dynamic, allowing quick and easy deployment of resources. It is simple, therefore, for employees or even departments to build or install applications, store data, and communicate internally using AWS cloud services, potentially with no security overview or controls. The nature of public cloud means that advanced IT services are accessible to all without the necessary strategy and oversight. Security controls are easy to bypass. Alongside clear company policy, cloud management and governance tools are required to give visibility control over deployed resource. AWS provides tools such as Control Tower, organizations, and Service Catalog. I've never. Okay.
So organizations, you've heard about organizations
and Control Tower, but the Service Catalog I'm less familiar with.
Yeah, Service Catalog is something where you as a user can only deploy certain things that I've assigned to you in a catalog.
Oh, I see.
So you can't go and make anything you want. You have a specific set of resources. So you have a developer and you need a development environment. You can make an EC2 instance with a VPC and maybe a database, but you can't make a DynamoDB because you don't have anything to do with DynamoDB. That's what Service Catalog is.
Okay. By definition, cloud-native tools only apply to a single cloud provider, so you wouldn't be able to affect Azure with AWS. So,
yeah, Shadow is inside the net. It's inside, I think.
It's so that'd be within the same cloud provider, doing stuff like I was saying.
Correct. So like you alluded to it, running a Bitcoin mining thing on an EC2 instance on an unapproved, expensive EC2 instance.
Well, yeah,
that's Shadow IT.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Or just writing stuff that you think is cool, or we need some Amazon workspaces, but you don't ask your cloud provider or IT providers. You're just doing it.
Yeah. So this could be intentional, unintentional. But I think that's the whole article, I think.
Yeah, this free tool comes pre-configured policies for monitoring vulnerabilities.
Yeah, and then the rest of it's the next chapters. That's the rest of the chapters.
Okay, there's the next steps with AWS security. So there's security best practices, security group naming convention best practices, cloud security configuration, firewall versus security group, guard duty, KMS, secrets manager. Okay, so all the stuff that's mentioned in the overview above in the summary is this is how you control it. So
correct.
I don't know. I think this article is a pretty good summary, and
pretty good summary.
I think
I understand more of it than I did. It was well written. Had a good beat. I could dance to it. No, that's something else. I know it. Yeah, that was good. It was good. Based on what I saw there, I think the rest of the articles.
Go visit Paladin Cloud. That's my advice. They have
we have no affiliation. They didn't ask us.
This is not sponsored. It is just out of just asking for feedback, and you can see down here if you're looking, Scott. Copyright 2023. But all their contact stuff. There's Slack and Twitter and LinkedIn. There's Discord.
I did notice that. Go back to the bottom there.
Oh, to the back, yeah. Or to the bottom. Yeah.
So more about it, yeah. So the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, I don't know if that means they're a member of it or if they're supported, but the Cloud Native Computing Foundation is a big deal.
No, it's very good. This is all it looks like all open source kind of stuff. And the website looks pretty great. And then, like I said, there's a GitHub up here. We're not going to explore today because this looks like a rabbit hole that we get really, really deep into. And honestly, we could make a series on security. But good job, Paladin Cloud. You get 5 thumbs up, 5 clouds out of 5 clouds from the Cloud Brothers, just for this article. And That's saying a lot because we're
Nerds.
we're nerds and we're really judgmental. Like and subscribe for more judgmentalness like this.
Yes.
Just
And
kidding, we're not really.
we'll do the see you in the cloud.
Oh yeah. So thank you for watching the Cloud Brothers and
See you in the
see
cloud.
you in the cloud. Peace out.